It's there! Holy moly, this one's going to go big.
Hello and welcome back to the channel, and here is a machine that I have been waiting just over 18 years to play again in the emulator. It is Maygay's James Bond. We have got an old £6 token JACKPOT AWP here. It's been on my most wanted list since the tech it runs on, which is Maygay's M1AB tech, was first emulated, which is back at the end of 2002. Now, I've got the version of the emulator here that first ran the technology that runs this machine. Let's have a look. Oh, by the way, if you don't want all the waffle, if you just want to get straight to the gameplay, I'll put the time codes in the video description so you can just go straight to the machine. But if you want to know about the history of the emulator around this tech, how this machine has come to be and why it's taken just over 18 years for this now to be playable in the emulator, an emulator rather, despite the fact that the tech has been emulated for 18 years, please do feel free to stick around for this kind of introduction, if you will. So, first of all, what we've got here, this is MFME v1.0. You can see there, this has scrolled past a couple of times already, and you can see that this was released in 2002. We've got the date there at the bottom. 1997 to 2002, of course, because Chris first started developing the emulator in 1997. And then in 2002, this was released, which was the very first release of MFME. And that was when the emulator changed from being called MPU34, because they were the two techs that it originally emulated, Barcrest MPU3 and MPU4 tech, and the emulator was called MPU3/4, but this release here added in, you can see there's a tab under the configuration menu. For the first time, this version of the emulator added in support for M1AB, and the name of the emulator also changed to MFME, which of course stands for Multiple Fruit Machine Emulator. So in terms of the tech being emulated, we've had it since December 2002, and I do remember this, and you can actually see, by the way. Let me just have a look at the properties on the executable. You can see there that the properties on the executable last modified 24th December 2002 at 8 o'clock in the evening, and Chris, that is Wizard, actually released this for a kind of Christmas present to the Fruit Machine emulation scene in December 2002, so just over 18 years ago. So why has it taken just over 18 years for this machine to finally be emulated? Well, basically, we never had the sound ROMs for it. I think the program ROMs have been around for a little while, but we certainly never had the sound ROMs for it, and nobody ever made a layout for it. So despite there being multiple releases of the emulator where we could have been playing this, nobody has ever made a layout for it. I don't know exactly when the program ROMs were available, but certainly we never had the sound ROMs. And this era of Maygay's, they had really good sample packs, and I think that it's not really a machine that you would want to play mute. So what happened is a couple of years ago, there, I've got this ready here, back in September 2019, Retrofruit here, who actually owns a James Bond machine, he'd taken a long break for the scene. He said there that he actually owns a James Bond machine, and he started working on a layout for it. We got an early version of the Classic as he was starting to work his way through it, and he had an intention of doing a DX as well. You can see there that his machine has got quite a bit of damage on it. And if you do, there's pretty much a finished Classic. And if you know Retrofruit, he was, of course, the M1A Madness guy. He is a absolute perfectionist, so he was really taking his time over this, which was fine. We were all happy to wait for as long as it would take. I mean, the DXs that Retrofruit was knocking out back in 2002, 2003, they still hold up today. You can still play them fine in the emulators today, and they look fine. Actually, they look better than fine. They look great. So you can see here all the work that was going on, and it was absolutely in progress. But you can see there, I've just skipped forward, Sorry, let me just go back. So we had an update in May of this year, and then nothing until we had a task in there in July and August for an update. And then it skips forward. And as you know, we lost Wizard in August of 2020. Wizard passed away. Became sort of the public knowledge on the Fruit Machine emulation scene in September. Retrofruit did. He posted it in Wizard's Rest a couple of times. I exchanged a couple of private messages with him, but this is publicly available information, so they're not kind of snooping around here. But you can see here that Retrofruit last visited on September 22nd, 2020. So just a week or two after we found out the very sad news of Chris's passing. So don't know if he's taking a break or if he's decided to walk away. Either is completely understandable. I know some people have kind of got themselves back into the scene quicker than others, and some people I think have made the decision just to walk away. I know there's a couple of our layout designers and a couple of regular posts at Desert Island Fruits took a little leave, or in some cases a reasonably substantial leave of absence after Chris passed. But it looks at the moment that Retrofruit is on a leave of absence from the scene at least. And that was kind of the end of that. Nothing happened. So this thread went quiet, and I thought, well, okay, that's a shame. It looks like we'll never get that layout. We'll never play that machine again. It's one of those things. It happens, and in the grand scheme of things, that's something that you simply have to accept. However, what happened just recently is this guy here, a new member over at Desert Island Fruits called Jason Field, sort of resurrected you can see there, no post from August through to December, resurrected the thread, got chatting, a couple of folks here got chatting to him. We Are City just noting there that maybe RF doesn't have the heart for completing it, or even FMA in general following Wizard's death. It turns out, however, that Jason actually owns the real machine, and he has the ROMs available for it as well, and he has the ROMs dumped. So thus started a little bit of a back and forwards. Chloe got on board here. Chloe said that she would make a DX for it. We got and here's the thing, now this is, as far as I am aware, these sound ROMs have never been available on the scene before. And I'm going right the way back to when M1AB first became an emulated tech at the back end of 2002. I think this is the first time that we have ever had the sound ROMs for them. And Jason here, who has been fantastically helpful, he uploaded the sound ROMs. He took some. This is another thing here that Chloe was working on the classic, and she couldn't suss out a couple of the of the lamp numbers. So Jason here on his own machine actually fired it up, put the thing into test mode. And you can see there, got the lamp numbers for Chloe as well, which she was looking at. So that helped Chloe out on the layout. He uploaded the so we've got various program ROMs. There are 3 ROM sets for this that we're aware of. There are £6 token ROMs, £8 token ROMs, and there's someone just posting something for melons, by the way, and there are £10 old cash ROMs. And there you see there, Jason has actually taken the sort of reels out of his machine, taken some pictures there, so we've got great symbols. He really has been incredibly helpful, giving all the resources available, not only just the sound ROMs, but there's just me saying asking as well, because Chloe was working on, I think, the £10 cash version, and I asked if we've got the £6 ROMs, could we please have the £6 version as well, because that was how it was originally released, and of course it played the best game on that. So there you are, Jason's got the £6 token JACKPOT ROMs as well. So we had the full set of all the ROMs. We had the sound ROMs, we had the £6 token ROMs, and we had some images of the machine to work from as well. And that then allowed Chloe to there we are, and there you can see, there are the actual lamp numbers that Jason got. So we can see there, we've got there, and we've got a couple of lamp numbers that allowed Chloe to finish off putting the layout together, and that led then to, for the first time ever, we then had a release of James Bond. This was launched by, or released rather, by Chloe yesterday, obviously acknowledging Wizard for the version of for MFME itself, which allows us to play this in the first place, and giving a shout out there to Jason as well for all the help that he provided, particularly for the sound ROMs, which, quite frankly, I think if Jason hadn't turned up and signed up over at Desert Island Fruits and made those ROMs available to us, we've never had them before. The only real path that we had prior to this was Retrofruit and his own layout there with the sound ROMs out of his own machine. So without Jason turning up with the sound ROMs, I just don't think we would have this release at all. And now, for the first time in 18 years, we now have this available. Quite a few thanks there as well, including from by myself. And what we're going to do in this video is actually play the machine itself. But so there is a little bit of history behind this one. It's always been, right from the very early days, I think I was asking whether or not the ROMs were available for this. I don't entirely know when the program ROMs were available. Certainly we never had the sound ROMs, and there's never been a layout for it, and I really wouldn't want to play this machine without the sounds, but it is now available. So at this moment in time, we have a classic. I think I get the impression that Tommy is working on a DX, which will be superb when it turns up, but I am more than happy to have a classic to play, and it's a really, really good classic as well. And I've got the classic alongside a picture of the machine. This is one that Jason took of his own machine, and just to give acknowledgement to Chloe here, that it shows you what you can do with a classic layout, and you can see, and she's done a nice little job with some real sort of James Bondy artwork in the background there that actually gives this classic. Not only is the layout very, very similar, but the whole feel of the classic layout is very close to the real machine, and it's a textbook example of what a good classic layout designer can do, even though ultimately you're using simple geometric shapes and colours rather than full normal high sort of quality artwork, as it were. So with all that said, let's play the game and give it a go. Now, what I've done is I've got this settled down. I just want to show you my long-term stats here. My good friend Autoplay, and I've just intervened a few times when Autoplay was getting a bit behind. I've put just short of £729 I put through this on Autoplay and some manual play as well, because I did want to get the thing settled down and have it playing properly and have it playing normally. So what we'll do, we'll start off with a £5 and get going, because to be honest with you, it was playing like a bit of an arse. When I first downloaded it was playing like a bit of a twat. So I thought I'll get a decent lump of cash through it just to see if it starts playing a bit better. And it kind of does, but it's still a little bit stinky. So let's get going with it. Now, the thing is here, it reminds me very much of, well, that's an easy one, isn't it? It reminds me a bit of Wild Zone. I think this came out before Wild Zone. If we lose this gamble, and we get a feature entry there, you can't fail to get a feature. So if you lose the gamble there, you get straight into the feature. It reminds me of an early version of Wild Zone, and I'm pretty sure that this came out before Wild Zone, for that matter. So we've got here a basic feature entry, which is the do or die. So Spectre is chasing us right from the start. Q is your kind of mystery. Shot at, we want that to miss, obviously, so we are going to carry on there. Your features that can repeat are these four here. If you look on the real machine there, you've got shoot to skill, you've got nudges galore, you've got golden gun, and license to kill. They are your four kind of tentpole features, and they are the ones that can actually repeat. Your radar thing, which you've just landed on, those little segments of the pie fill up. If you get all four of them, it's £6, which it auto collects, by the way. If you fill up all chunks of the pie, you auto collect. And you've got your Monte Carlo, which is like a win series thing at the end, which does guarantee you £3. It made a note there, you see it there on the real machine, it did actually say minimum win £3, which is obviously quite a bit less than the actual jackpot, which is £6. So we're not doing too bad. Oh, license to kill. I'll collect that because that's one of the repeaty features. And I'll probably embarrass myself. It's on the bullseye thing here. Oh, that's going quite quick, isn't it? Hang on, let me just see if I can get that first one. And now what you do is you kind of... Hang on. That's right, you've got to be dead quick. Oh no, I've got the... I needed the volume a little bit louder there. You really, when you try... Oh, right, okay. I'll see if I can get the first one, because I can never quite get the time. I get the first one. You don't wedge it, but you just kind of wait for a split second and then press it. I need to get the first one, though. There we are. Now I'll do the semi-wedge. Oh, no, that was far too slow. There we are. Kind of. I'm not quite doing that right. It's easy when you've got the volume. I've got the volume turned down because I don't want it to... Oh, there we go. This is the thing. It can repeat. It's not giving me many shots, though, is it? Oh, fucking hell, Degs. There we are. I'm not doing very well here. There, that's a little bit better. Repeat again. Let's see if I can just get all three. Go on. It's not a bad feature. You can see... So there we are. We did get some reasonable repeats there. And that will all be cash as well, I think. So it's taking a credit for each one. So your feature entry, obviously, basic overlaid numbers. You've got a bonus at 4. It's a bit of a shit bonus. There's only those 4 there. And it doesn't often... It likes to... You can cancel the respin, although I'm not sure why you would want to, because it never seems to hold if you actually cancel it. The only one that kind of guarantees to put you in is the skill shot. Oh, there we are. So that's going to give us there, because the more that you overflow, the better the feature entry. Do or die, you've got Spectre chasing you straight from the start. Out in front, you have to get past this post here. You can see it on the real machine that there's a post there, which is there on this layout. And then clean getaway, exactly what it sounds like. You don't get chased by Spectre at all, but don't think for a second that that means it's not going to kill me. It still loves to kill you off the queue, and it particularly likes to use one of these 2 mission over... Oh, shoot to skill. Go on then, let's have a look at all the features. We've seen license to kill. Now this one can be a bastard. It can go as really fast, or... Oh, that's super slow. This really should be a jackpot. That is super slow. It can go massively quicker than this. Come on. There we are. Oh, this is really going slow. Oh! Oh, God almighty. There, it's taken... That was fucking shite. How embarrassing. And it really is going. Let me just... Oh, my God. This is fucking hell. Right, I'm going to take it out to the jackpot this time. Look how slow it's going. Right, hang on. If I try and talk at the same time, I just fuck it up. So, just bear with me, because I'll fuck it up if I talk at the same time. Sorry, for some reason, that was so easy. For some reason, I am incapable of talking and doing that at the same time. So that was not a thrilling narration there. I thought, fuck it, I don't have to show up here. I'm just going to keep missing it. So you can see, but you are seeing there that these are the features that can repeat. It's not going to... That was going so slow. It can go massively quicker than that. It can certainly go fast enough if it wants to. That I seem to remember it getting really tricky around £2.40 or £3. So, apart from those terrible early fuck-ups there, let's just give it another 5. So that will mean that we've put £20 in. If we can see all the features, that would be ideal. This shaken not stirred. If I land on it, I'll collect it. It's basically choose a win. But you see where it is on the real machine. It's not one of the repeaty ones. So shaken not stirred. As far as I am aware, and I've put quite a few bob through this as well. Whilst autoplay's been doing its thing, I've kind of picked it up myself a few times and played it as well, and turned autoplay off. I've collected shaken not stirred a few times. I've seen autoplay collect it a few times. I haven't seen that repeat. As far as I'm aware, the only ones that can repeat are those 4 main features. So we're going to have... It does like to kill you straight off the bat. If you've had a good feature, It can do first throw death, by the way. It can and will just kill you on the first throw so that you don't get a chance to collect anything. 6 nudges, what have we got here? £1.20, that's no good, is it? Money Raker, I'll tell you now, is Money Belt. It is just a straightforward Money Belt. Oh, maybe I should have collected it because it used the mission over square. After all that, so maybe we should have a look at it. But it absolutely is a Money Belt, and again, it doesn't have a repeat on it. As far as I'm aware, I don't think they can repeat those features, the ones that are at the corners. So again, Simon, I don't understand why you would want to cancel that, because by definition, unless maybe you got there with a... I don't know. I'm not quite sure why you'd want to cancel the repeat there. It doesn't seem to make sense, but did it for the sake of seeing it happen there. See there, so what is the possible benefit of cancelling... I mean, I guess if it held again, but you've still only got 4 numbers, so I don't know why you'd want to do that. I don't know why it's there as an option, because it doesn't seem to me that there's anything clever you can do or that you can hope for if you actually cancel it. Let's just try and get 3 holds works, holds after nudges works. And it does that Maygay thing where it's happier to hold after nudges. That'll put us straight in because we've got 3 on the win line. Does that Maygay thing where it's happier to hold after nudges for the feature rather than for a win. So if you can leave, just leave 2 of the James Bonds on the win line, that is more likely to hold than it is for an actual win. So let's see, I wouldn't expect Spectre to get us here. Now, there is a lose on this, which is mission over. Smokescreen gives us a free go. You only live twice is an extra life. Shot at is a continue, yes, no. Jetpack is a boost, and radar just fills in one of your little Oh, for fuck's sake, it does like to use that mission over square. And it will use this one at the end as well. It's got a nasty habit of using that. Oh, so there we are. Hold the but. So that's 2 holds on the jackpot. Let's go in. So, obviously, we can't lose no 1. You don't even have to win 1 single gamble. So all you can do here is, there's no exchange. You can either collect it or just high-low. And if you lose a gamble, it just gives you the feature.
Oh, gee.
One thing, by the way, is that the £3 is not a repeater. And I remember not liking that on the original machine. Most machines had, not just Maygay's, but in general, their £3 was a repeater because £3 was your cash jackpot. And a lot of Maygay's had, I think most Maygay's had it. Oh, that's going to be close. Oh, he's got me. Certainly off the top of my head, I think most of the Maygay's actually had that £3 as a repeater. But for sort of triple shot, this is hardly ever puts you in this. It's really shit. There we are. Yeah, for whatever reason, Maygay decided not to make, we've got a feature there, decided not to make the £3 on this a repeater, which means there is actually no £3 repeater on this. There's no way to get them. Right, obviously, these features can repeat, but they are not designated as, £3 plus repeat chance, because they can do all kinds of funny amounts. So I've got the extra life there. One thing it does like to do if you've got the extra life is kill you. Almost as if to demonstrate, oh, that's a nice little boost. Oh, shall we collect nudges galore? I can tell you what it does. It's going to award me 5 nudges. Oh, fucking hell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's going to be really shit. I don't think, because it's going to give us 5 nudges, then I'll collect it anyway. That's going to add a maximum of 4. So I don't think that's going to be pretty crap, isn't it? Oh, it can go more than once. I didn't... Oh, there we are. So best win £2. So what we're hoping for here, we're kind of at the mercy of the repeat chance here. And no repeat chance, so just a straight £2. So that's a little bit shit. That is the problem with all of these features, by the way, is if they don't repeat, they're a little bit underwhelming. So let's hold the 3 there. Golden Gun, which we'll try and get as well. That is, it's got like a cash value, bounces in and out on the alpha there. You've just got to hit it in the middle. You can see, in fact, if you look on the real machine there's like a little gun sight in the middle, so you have to stop the cash value in the middle. Problem with that is that the most it can give you, as far as I'm aware, is 6 shots. And the maximum value is 80p, so you can't actually get... So 6 times 80, of course, will not make a £6 jackpot, so you can't get a jackpot off it. I don't think, so I don't think it can give more than 6 shots, but it can repeat. As you saw with licensing, we've had We've had shoot to skill repeat. We've had license to kill repeated for us as well. And golden gun can repeat quite nicely when it wants to as well. So we've got the feature again there. We'll try and get to the end. We've seen shoot to skill. We've seen nudges galore. We've seen license to kill. Let's see if we can land on golden gun. I will most certainly collect that as well. So shoot to skill. Now, shall we have a look at that? Because I would expect this to have speeded up. Let's have a look at it. Oh God, it's still going really slow, isn't it? And then I don't want to... Well, come on. There we are. There we are. Degsy. Please repeat. Take pity on me. Has given a repeat. So what I think this feature does is it gets faster the more it gets collected and the better people do at it. And I think because autoplay, of course, will be incapable. I did see autoplay take it a few times, but come on, let's just get the jackpot. Come on. There we are. Why am I making such a meal of this? Very poor. I would be really, really upset with myself in the wild if I was missing it when it was going that slow. Because that really should have... There's several jackpots that I should have had there. So I think that's in like its easiest mode at the moment because it absolutely will go a lot faster. And as downloaded, it will go a lot faster than that as well. So we're just kind of... Let's have a look. So... hasn't held there. So what we need to do... I will certainly collect golden gun if we get to it. I would like to get to Monte Carlo as well. There we are, clean get. Let's see if we can get to Monte Carlo on this one. So we haven't got anyone chasing us, but it can still use these mission over squares if it's in a shit mood. So we don't want to get a 3 here. That's good. We're past that one. It tends not to use the one at the end. That's what I've found. On a clean getaway. Oh, there we are. We've actually got golden guns. There we are. We've got Bond has 5 shots. We will collect that. There we are. There we are. Let it bounce once. And then get it on the way back. There we are. There we are. And that's a £2.40. So you are kind of dependent on a repeat to make this even remotely interesting. Oh, is that going to be over the bank limit? Yes, we are over the bank limit there. No repeat. So you can see the problem with these features is when they don't repeat, they can be slightly underwhelming. What can we... So we got 2 there. Boost is generally quite crap as well. And it hasn't put us in. So let's collect that bank out. We've got quite a lot of tokens there. I won't be featuring the £8 or £10 jackpot ones in this video. You can see here, they are available, and Chloe has made all 3 versions available in the same download. So they're all part, if you just download the layout from Desert Island Fruits, you will get all 3 versions. And what they do, they change the double bars to £4, and the jackpot is then either £8 or £10. And this square, in fact, you can actually see it because the picture on the left here, it's running the £10 ROMs. The value there changes to £8, but it stays at £8 even on the £10 ROMs. But you can see here, it's pretty obvious that this machine is designed around a £6 jackpot. The radar is always maxing out at £6, whatever the jackpot. And you can see there with your shots that they're all based around, these features are all kind of based around a £6 jackpot. And I remember playing this on a £6 jackpot, and I remember this one very clearly, and that was partly why it was such a machine that I was looking forward to playing it again, because I remember playing this one very, very clearly. Remember this turning up in the pubs of Radcliffe and Bury. There were a few of them around, not as many as other Maygays, but there were a few of them around. And I have very, very clear memories of playing this quite a bit. And it was a pretty cool machine, because one thing that I haven't focused on yet is that they have got the proper James Bond license. Now, there were a few hooky spy machines around. Barcrest, of course, did James Bond 006, which I have. Oh, don't shoot me. Oh, look at that. On a clean getaway, I got fucked by that. So if you... and we're used to that in the world of fruit machines, aren't we? Which is knockoff machines, which are clearly based on an established IP, but the fruit machine manufacturer hasn't shelled out for the license. Of course, the ultimate culprits of that are Betcoms with their, their Baking Bad and their Corn of the Dead and their Star Paws and the Winsons and all that lot, which are clearly all rip-offs of established IPs. And that isn't a new thing. That's been going on for years, where it's obvious that the machine is based on something, but the manufacturer's decided not to actually pay for the license. So it's pretty cool in this regard that... Oh, come on, not again. Ah, dear me. Whereas in this case, Maygay actually shelled out for the proper James Bond license. So you get the James Bond music, you get the James Bond logo, you get the 007, all of this course, all of this stuff is copyrighted, of course. So they've actually, I mean, they haven't paid for the likenesses of any actual James Bonds. You can't see, you haven't got a Sean Connery on there or a Roger Moore or anything like that. I think Timothy Dalton would have been a Bond by this point, wouldn't he? I mean, it was before the Pierce Brosnan days, wasn't it? So it was quite a cool machine. It's a nice looking machine when it's all lit up and working, and it was pretty cool having a genuine James Bond themed fruit machine. I haven't been giving much. Ooh, what have we got there for £2.40? I haven't given much of a highlight to the music here, but it is a full proper James Bond soundtrack that we've going on. And I just remember, oh, that's going to be one short of me, isn't it? Yeah, just about. Oh dear, that'll be a 1. Yeah, he'll only get a 1. Oh, come on, not again. That is 3 on the trot now, where it's had me with that. So my memories of this machine are thinking that it was a pretty cool fruit machine. It was around at the same time as a lot of other Maygays of this genre. And I just had some very fond memories of playing this machine and really wanting to play it again in the emulator. However, now that I've actually played it again, and I put a fair amount of time into this last night, and if I am completely honest, I have to say this is not the best that Maygay have done in this kind of series of machines, if you will. I don't know which came out first, but off the top of my head, you've got machines. I think Pink Panther was the very first one. That was their first £6 token JACKPOT chase machine. But they had a load of them. We had later on, we had, obviously we had Gladiators, we had Wild Zone. There were some that obviously you had Cluedo, that was a start to finish as well. And then you had the lappers like EastEnders and Coronation Street. Oh God, it's in a really foul mood here, isn't it? There are a whole scutch of them. Gladiators, of course, would be another one. In fact, let's make this easy for myself, because Noel's House Party was another. I've actually got, because I knew I'd forget all the names. So if you have a look on my channel here, and we just have a little search for Maygay, you can see there are a few that I've mentioned. Yeah, Cluedo, Return of these were all £6 jackpots. Coronation Street, the BWB team up with Simpsons, Monopoly, That's Life. That was a £6 jackpot one originally. What else? We've got there's Gladiators, Inferno and Wild Zone, Deluxe Monopoly, Noel's House Party, so on and so forth. And I've played all of those extensively in the emulator, and having really put some time in, there we are, having put some decent time into this now since it was released, I have got to say that this is possibly one of the weakest out of the whole lot. The reason for that is it's just a little bit unrefined. When you actually put some time into it, it's a bit rough around the edges. It's kind of like, it's still a great machine, don't get me wrong, and I've really enjoyed playing it, but I'm a little bit on the nostalgia trip side of things more than as it being a great machine. I think something like Noel's House Party is a far better machine than this. Oh, come on. Let's just see. Let's get to the end. We haven't got to the end yet, have we? come on, come on, come on. We've got an extra life. Let's just see if we can get a Monte Carlo. I don't actually want another radar because it will auto-collect. The only thing that can really don't get a 3. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, James.
We've got the extra life. The problem is that you start from start. If you lost your extra life and carried on, that would be... The one thing you do keep is your nudge pot, but it doesn't seem to want to be putting in. Is there a jackpot nearby? Yes, there is. Look at that. You can see there that nudge pot is not moving off 3. It is clearly not prepared to give me a jackpot from the nudge pot because it is not going past 3. Oh, that was a nasty double death. So, if I am completely honest and upfront about it, it's not the best machine in this genre. It's lacking, like, for example, on Noel's House Party, you've got the little key features where you can get the super jackpot on that kind of thing. A machine like Inferno, you've got the high-lows up the centre. On all of the other machines in that list that I can think about something on each of them, like Wild Zone, which the Cluedo here is very similar to Wild Zone, but it's got more features. It's got a couple of extra features up the top here, whereas what you've got on James Bond is this hideout square, and all you have to do with hideout, it just gives you a little code like a 132 or 213 or whatever. And if you put the code in, that's a hold up. So I think we want to hold. Oh no, you can't. It doesn't actually do a trail held. So we'll have to do that. So you just put the code in and it just gives you a mystery advance. It doesn't actually... those hideout things are not features. So I think Wild Zone, this is probably closest to Wild Zone. The layout of the board is very similar to Wild Zone as well. Oh, and you can see here it's plain nasty. It's got some really shit dead boards on it as well, which we are seeing here. So purely as a game to play, if I am completely objective about it and I take the old rose tinteds off, it is not the best that Maygay did in this space, but I still really, really like it. I've still very much enjoyed playing it. And I was playing it quite late last night. In fact, just one more board. So whilst the machine does have some deficiencies, I've been having a great time playing it again. But oh no, he's going to get me there. How many fucking shite boards have I just had? This is one of the other problems with it as well. It does seem to have a particularly nasty take on it as well, but it does have the solid Maygay streak in it too. So I've got to kind of separate out my nostalgia trip element of it, which is perhaps I had this machine elevated in my brain to be perhaps better than it really is, and that's sustaining my interest in playing it in the emulator as well. There we are, 3 holds on bells, that's not too bad. That is perhaps, well, we certainly can't lose that one. It will sometimes let you gamble out the jackpot on this. That could well lose, but there we are, but at least you always get a feature. So if I was recommending a game to play, if you were purely interested in the game, I would pick some of those others off the list. But that is not to say that this isn't worth your time. It's still a fun AWP. It's still 35. Is that going to get me again? No, it's one short there. Oh, don't you dare. A live carrier. I haven't actually got to Monte Carlo yet, have I? I say Money Raker is absolutely just a bog standard money belt. You should still play it. I would very much recommend. Oh, you'll see hideout here. It's just a 1, 2, 3. So there we are. So 1, 3, 2. Usually gives you a 5 or a 10 in my experience. There's the 10. Yeah. And what it generally does now is give... So Spectre... now I'll probably rick a 5, I think, to Monte Carlo. Oh, 4? I would certainly not expect that to kill me. There we are. And now... So we have actually got to Monte Carlo. So let's have a look what it actually gives up. So have a look when it does the credit breaks. It does some really, really weird amounts on this. So you can see we've got 1 credit there. Sometimes it might... After all that... We got a flat £3. That is really shite, isn't it? So, not the biggest fan in the world of I mean, at least it guarantees £3, but After all that, you would expect something a little bit better. And what I'll just do here, because it does have a great sound package, so when you get nudges, for example, let's just see if we can get nudges, because it plays you a little bit of View to a Kill. Mrs. Degsy recognised when I was playing it upstairs in the lounge. Mrs. Degsy, because she's a big Duran Duran, and she actually calls it Duran Duran fans, because Mrs. Degsy is a Durani. She actually Avtac, which is what Duranis call our View to our Kill. They actually just know it as Avtac. So let's have a little blast of the nudge music, then we'll have a blast of the feature music, because it does help with the machine that you've got, rather than these kind of slightly shit knockoff themes. If you play Baking Bad by Betcom, that's got a really shitty fucking fake Breaking Bad style tune. But let's have the nudge music. Then we'll get the nudge bonus here. Let's get on to the feature. Why did that not... Oh, I didn't press exchange. I pressed the... You fucking idiot, Degsy. Well, we're in anyway. So you can't argue with the music on this. And I do remember thinking it was quite cool having like the proper bona fide James Bond soundtrack on a fruit machine. And I think we will get some different. We can land on a queue without it giving us a mission over. We'll get... Come on. If you actually go through the sample bank, or the whole sample pack, is that there aren't that many samples in there, but they are all at least proper James Bond sounds. So we'll do our hideout thing here. That'll give us a little boost forward. Gives a 5 from there, so 3 on the radar. I would expect to get to Monte Carlo here. There we are.
Well, all right.
So lots of great samples. Let's see what we get off this one. Oh, it has done a credit break there. So it did £3 cash. It took a credit. And it's taken another credit. So that's all cash up to now. Oh, so we got £9. So that was basically a £3 plus 2 repeats on that one. So I haven't seen it go absolutely nuts. I think the best I've had off it is about 14 or 15 quid. Even though this machine has had many hundreds of pounds... Oh, I should have held an all then. Even though this machine has had many hundreds of pounds through it, I haven't actually seen it do a really nuts Monte Carlo. Ooh, you don't know how many nudges raise the jackpot. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can tell if it wants to give it you or not, because the nudge pot will stay one short of how many you need. So let's see if it actually goes up to... That is staying... Yeah, that is... they've got an extra... That is very much staying at 4 nudges, isn't it? So that says to me it's not going to tip over to 5 nudges. So we ain't going to be getting the jackpot off the nudge pot. Let's see how... We've got the extra life. It does tend to get a bit more kill happy when you've got the extra life. Let's see... Okay, let's see if it does the 10 or the 5 off this. It usually does. Yep, there's the 10. And that's another radar. So we've got 3 on the radar. If that was a £3 plus repeat chance, you could make a case for collecting it, but... So we have got an extra life. So we keep our nudge pot, but it's not going to fill it up anymore. And we get Spectre chasing his rivals. You can get some decent time on the feature. You can see it. You can get a decent run at the feature board. I mean, when I say it's not as good... Oh, for fuck's sake, double mission over. When I say it's not as good as the other Maygays, though, that list that I just went down on my channel there, that's not all of them, but that is some of the real classic £6 jackpot Maygays. When I say that this isn't as good as those, that is coming from a standpoint of saying that those other Maygay £6-pounders are, in my opinion, some of the best fruit machines ever made in terms of AWPs. I don't think there are a lot of good £6 jackpot machines, but Maygay arguably had it down better than most, particularly with the superb sample pack. Oh, for fuck's sake. Particularly with the superb sample packages that they used to put on their machine. So when I say it's not as good as Noel's House Party, it's not as good as Gladiators, it's not as good as Cluedo, I stick by that, but it's still really good. It's still a very entertaining AWP. And I'd take it over any £70 jackpot fruit. Oh, for fuck's sake, says it just gone on a rampage here. I would take it over any £70, £100, £35, £25 jackpot any day of the week. Because there is some genuine entertainment to be had here. And there are a few skill features on it as well. Which, if you're less shit than I am, you can do okay out of. So let's see where we could do with getting. I would quite like to get a jackpot, and we'll get the jackpot tune as well. And I'm slightly when I do this when I'm playing machines that I really enjoy. I'm kind of need to remind myself. Oh, for fuck's sake, I've got to remind myself because I'm really enjoying playing this. I am just enjoying playing the machine. I'm just throwing pounds into it. Throwing more credits into it, just carrying on playing it, because it is a genuinely entertaining machine to play, that is the thing. So, whilst it isn't quite the spectacularly brilliant machine that I had it in my head and my memory, my sort of rose-tinted glasses side of things, it is still a great fruit machine. Got many hours out of me last night. I'm enjoying playing it again now as well. So... let's just... We're not going to get a jackpot on this board. Where's the feckin'... Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I think that tells you all you need to know, doesn't it? That 8 nudges for the jackpot. And... is it going to be the 10 again? It just loves to give you a 10 off that hideout. You can see it's not going to be a jackpot off the nudge pot because don't you dare do it. So there, well, we'll get another Monte Carlo. So we've got £9 in there now. So let's see what we can get. So it's taking a credit. So that was £3. We are actually getting... it's taking a credit again. So it is doing this all on cash. Sometimes it can really, really fuck you off with and with weird token amounts. Well, this isn't a bad one, is it? And it's gone again. Ooh, so that was £15 because we had £9 in the bank. So that was £15. That was quite... oh, the music, the collect bank music, by the way, they've just reused that same Prince sample that they use on a few of their machines. For what? Oh, look at that. All cash bank as well. For whatever reason, they didn't actually use the... or they didn't find an appropriate James Bond sample for that. So I think we've had a decent look at the machine now. All that remains to do, I think, is I'll just get a jackpot so we can snag the jackpot tune. And then I will wrap this one up. Fucking hell, I'm aware we're coming up to 50 minutes already. Right, I'll have a speculative gamble on £3 for a jackpot. Go on, let's have a look. Oh, hang on a minute. If I bring that window back into focus, that'll work even. I can't see that working. No, not a chance.
Oh, gee.
And we get the mission. Okay, hold after nudges for cherries. I'm going to gamble. It took a few quid. It's not liking this. It doesn't like me just going straight for a jackpot. Come on, all the way to the top. Doesn't bode well, does it? A 7. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, this is gamble from a cherry. This is a £1 starting point. Going to go all the way to the top. Come on. Just want to get I want to get the 7s on the reels and get the jackpot seat. Oh, for fuck, it's going to have me on this, isn't it? Lower than a 7. Go on. Oh.
Oh, James.
Right, this was from a cherry again, and we've got an 11 on bells. Oh, come on. Let's get out to the jackpot. We can't lose this one. What's our final 11. You know what? It loves to lose on these. Lower than an 11 for the jackpot. Blimey, that took a few quid to get a jackpot lined up. But fine, we got 13 nudges, and the jackpot is available. We will have it. And then we'll get the jackpot sequence at last. Well, that was slightly harder work than I was expecting, but we have finally snagged a jackpot there. Has it got a follow-on board? I will wrap this one up, but... Oh, there's an error on the reels, by the way. You can see there, I've got mixed bars and it's showing £2.40. Chloe has already updated this layout. I've got the launch version of the layout. She has updated the layout today, and that has been fixed. So that was just something that I pointed out to her, and she's already fixed that. So if you download, as of about 3 or 4 hours ago, that was fixed on Desert Island Fruit. So if you downloaded the layout last night or early this morning, you just need to re-download it, and you'll get the fixed version where there is one of the bars is wrong. So sometimes you get... Oh, didn't... Well, there we are. So we got the jackpot anyway. So that is the main thing. Have we got... Oh, we got... Come on, let's just see if we can get one last decent feature. One last reasonable win. Oh, we'll have this feature. It's always played, and it can just mug you. It sometimes, you saw it before, sometimes it just goes on a fucking nasty run. And I kind of dig my heels in with it, and then I become determined to get a half-decent chunk of cash out of it. So, let's see if we can get past... Ooh, let's see if we can get... Oh, for fuck's sake. There we are. Right, okay. Let's collect that bank out. So yeah, objectively, honestly, with the rose-tinted glasses off, this is not the best of these Maygays as a machine. If I was to be brutally honest, it's probably one of the weakest ones, purely as a game, but then it's standing alongside what I would say are some of the best fruit machines ever made in terms of amusement with prizes. So the fact it's not as good as your Noel's House Parties or your EastEnders or your Gladiators isn't really a criticism per se, because it's standing amongst giants in that regard. For me, it's very nostalgic. Do remember playing the machine. Do remember thinking that having, an officially licensed James Bond fruit machine was pretty cool. It's nice to have all those proper James Bond samples in there, and all of those 4 features, your 4 kind of corner features, if you will, they've all got that potential to pay well. And we had a decent Monte Carlo there. We had a 15 quid Monte Carlo, and the machine itself does have a streak in it, although I haven't... How much money is this machine had through it? See there, it's had 817 quid through it, and I haven't had what you would call a genuine solid £30-40 streak out of it in all that time. So maybe it only comes round every £1,000 or so, something like that. But we have had some decent wins there anyway. So definitely one that I think you should grab. It's available over at Desert Island Fruits now. Fantastic job on the classic layout from Chloe. Really need to send thanks out to Jason Field there as well, making the sound ROMs available, helping with pictures of the machine, those missing lamps and all that kind of thing. Hopefully one day, maybe Retrofruit will come back one day and we'll get to see his DX. I would love to see a Retrofruit DX of this machine, but obviously that's entirely his decision to make. I guess the news now, the main thing now, is that for the first time ever, this machine is playable in the emulator with the sound, and on the original £6 jackpot as well. but you can take your pick. The £8 and £10 jackpot versions are in the download from Desert Island Fruits, but for me, really the only way, although certainly the massively preferred way to play all of these era of Maygays is on their original stake and prize, which is 20p. Play £6 token and £3 cash. So I'll shut up now because I've been banging on about this machine for far too long, but I think this will become one of those machines that I return to and play on a fairly regular basis. But I do fully admit that there's perhaps a little bit of the old nostalgia creeping in there. But it's definitely worth some of your time, I would say. So thank you very much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed this video, and I will catch up with you next time. But for now, as ever, it is goodbye.